Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com. Hope you all had a good holiday, Happy New Year, and going to be starting on a new project in this video. However, this is not it. This is the project that I was kind of teasing in my last video before the new year, where I was talking about a special theme project I had planned for 2018. And that's because this year marks the 20th anniversary of my website being online. So I wanted to do something a little bit special to commemorate the anniversary. And what I came up with was I was going to be dedicating all of my builds this year to 1984. For those of you who don't know, I originally came up with the screen name because I had a 1984 Monte Carlo SS that I was driving at the time, and coincidentally I noticed that a few of the properties that I liked, like Transformers, Ghostbusters, were movies that came out in that same year. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized that a lot of really good and important pop culture things came out that year. Beverly Hills Cop, Karate Kid, Police Academy, Footloose, Dune, just all of these movies, some TV shows like Blue Thunder, Airwolf, Miami Vice, Who's the Boss, just happened to all be released in that same year of 1984. And I've done quite a few projects, but there's still a lot left to do. So I thought that would be kind of a fun way to fill in some of the gaps in my collection, as well as do something that was related to the site's title and something that I could do for the year. So I'm starting out with Stranger Things Season 2 was set in that year, and my first completion of 2018 is going to be the Hawkins Power and Light van. That's starting with the AMT Fire Rescue van. Has some modifications like the license plate filled in the back, and it's going to be receiving an updated grille courtesy of the A-Team van. I'm going to be cutting this out and replacing it with a Chevy van, along with a somewhat updated interior. It's not 100% accurate to an 84 van, but it's close enough that you get the general idea. But like I said, this isn't the project that this video is supposed to be about. The first of my thematic builds is going to be based on the highest grossing movie of 1984, Beverly Hills Cop. And I'm going to be using the AMT kit for it, which in this case was released as the Beverly Hills Cop car. This is a straight repop of their kit that's been around for a while. It's been released as the Old Pro, it's been released as a Street Machine, and in this case they've just got some new box art, but the same kit. And taking a closer look at the box art, we've got a built version along with some screenshots from the movie. We've got that repeated on both ends. We've got some alternate views here along with features that are in the kit. Got a profile shot here and brief synopsis of the movie. Here we've got the kit contents laid out for you, along with all of the legal information. And inside the box, first thing we've got is the chrome sprue, which here is where you can see that no pains were taken to make this correct for Axel Foley's car. For one thing, it doesn't have any accurate wheels in it. Do have two options though. Got those, along with some 5-spoke Gregors. Got the grille and rear panel with the SS badging on them. Got some performance parts for the engine and chassis. And accuracy aside, Round 2 actually did a nice job with this as far as it being pretty clean. Considering the age of this kit, there's really not a whole lot of flash, The chrome is generally pretty smooth. I don't really see any blushing on it, so it is actually a pretty nicely done kit here. Moving on to the body. Again, it's pretty clean. For those of you that haven't built this kit, the front fenders are separate, which will be somewhat helpful for distressing the car, because this is way too clean and sharp for Axel's car. Got all the legal stampings in there. Old style interior bucket with no seats in it. Door panels are fairly shallow, but you can make out some engraving on them. The ejector pin marks on the floor are actually pretty decent for a kit this age. You can see them in the corners, but those will be under the back seat, and these ones can be under some floor mats. And so here is the seat, along with the wheel backs, and steering wheel did not make it as flash-free as the rest of the kit did. That's probably the worst looking part of the whole kit. And here we've got some more of the performance parts. We've got the Old Pro hood, along with the roll bar. Got the stock exhaust system and the rear axle. And there's a little bit of flash right there on the ends of the exhausts, but that can be cleaned up. Here we've got the front fenders and the stock hood, which these vents will need to be removed to be accurate for Axel's car. Also, the badges weren't on Axel's car, any of them. It did have side trim, but not that. Got the dashboard. And here we've got bulk of the engine components, including some custom headers. This is one of the things that I'm going to be changing out, because in the movie, his Nova doesn't have any fender badges, which there would have been on any V8 option for the car. So it most likely either had the 4 or 6 cylinder, and I'm going to be going with the 6 cylinder from Model Car World. But for those of you that do want the V8, it's not too bad. Basic older AMT tooling. Chassis with separate leaf springs and the drive shaft. There's the other engine option with the stock exhaust manifolds and an automatic transmission on this one. You got the front bucket seats right here, which again, that's something that I will not be using, but I'll get to that in just a minute. Got some tires, including some pad printed rear slicks. And that's something that Round 2 has really done a nice job on, is the tires that they're putting in their kits. They're looking a lot more realistic than the old dark black. These are really more of a dark brownish gray. And do have metal axles. We've got the glass here, which looks pretty good. Nice and clean. Don't see any major flash on it, and don't see any swirls or scratches. That's good. And finally, from the kit, we've got the decal sheet, which is a just looks like a few contingency sponsors and some license plates. Since I'm not going to use them, I'm not going to open that up. And you get the paperwork, instructions, card, 2013 catalog for you nostalgia buffs. And finally, the bits that I've gotten to replace. I've got some dog dish hubcaps. And those will be going on Steelies from my parts box. And from Parts Resin, I got some pieces to downgrade this, including the bench seat, which has the correct pattern on it, and it's a little bit wide, but with a little bit of trimming, that'll fit in there, no problem. Flat hood, which I could use instead of removing the vents from that. I've not done a check because the front fenders are separate pieces, so I may even just have enough wiggle room to install that without modification. And the non-SS grill, along with the rear panel. Now, since this set was made for the Revell kit, it may not necessarily made up exactly, but again, as rough condition as Axel's car was, I've got a little bit of leeway for making things fit. And I will be distressing the body. I'll be adding some dents and some rust, and making it look like the appropriate crappy blue Chevy Nova that it was described as. And yeah, so that will be my first project for the year. I'm going to get started on this right away, and we'll be posting the first update video next week. In the meantime, if you want to follow along with the Stranger Things van, I'll be posting some pictures of that on my Facebook and Instagram feeds, so you can check those out. And there we go. Got my projects for the year lined up. So check back for the update on this, and thanks for watching.